Hi guys, so this is going to be a hair brushing and probably a bit of a rambling video. I'm going to try some different things with filming this one today. The first thing is I'm actually standing up now, so you're probably going to see a little bit more like small motion. Hopefully that doesn't annoy you. But then also I will be stepping closer to the camera and a little bit further back as well, hopefully for different brushing sounds mostly, not so much for the talking portions. Also, I have a different hairbrush today. This is an EcoTools hairbrush, and I believe this is the Styler and Smoother hairbrush. I have already used this. So, like other things I've used for my hair, it already has some of my hair sort of wrapped around, so it's not quite as pretty looking as it was when I first got it. But it's still very effective, I'm sure, and I thought that the sounds that this one makes, they're a little bit different. Going through my hair than the other ones that I have. So hopefully this will be a little bit different for you. And I'm going to do a little bit more brushing towards the camera, so that hopefully the sounds will be a little bit more, not necessarily louder, but a little more distinct for you. In the past, I'm usually a little bit further back than this. But I really love the sounds that the hairbrush makes, and I think a lot of you do as well, so I wanted to try to do a little bit of emphasis on that. One thing that I've noticed about this hairbrush in particular is that there's a little bit more tug involved because of the, at least I'm guessing, because of the little nodes, or at least that's how I look at them, at the ends of the bristles. And so I slow down a little bit more when I use this brush, which is good for videos, because I think sometimes I go a little bit too fast, and I try to be mindful and not do that, but sometimes I can't help it. I think when you're doing something that you do all the time, every day, you tend to do it at the speed that you normally do it. You have to really think about it to do it at a different speed, whether that speed is slower or faster. But I chose to make this video today because very cold and very snowy here in Detroit, and I thought it would be nice to do something positive to brighten up my day. Not that I'm having a bad day or have had a bad day recently, but sometimes the snow does get to me a little bit, and not even so much the snow as just the cold. It's very cold, and I'm not used to the cold as much, even though I've lived here for a few years now. I grew up in East Tennessee, and I would say that right now here in Detroit we have about a foot of snow. The snow tends to snow, and then it stays as long as it stays cold. But in Tennessee, where I grew up, if they predict snow, they will shut things down. They will close the schools, and it's just a very different sort of interpretation of how to handle the snow, I guess. And at first I thought that was really odd. I was like, well, why would they do that there? But then here, things mostly just carry on as usual. And people, they drive a little slower, hopefully. But, for the most part, people still go to work, children still go to school. And then I realized that here in Michigan, or at least in the Detroit area, I don't know, I haven't been to very many other parts of Michigan, they plow the roads and they salt the roads. In Tennessee, I know they don't do that on a regular basis. Perhaps once it does actually snow, they come through. But here, I guess people can just move on because the roads are more taken care of than they are in places where it doesn't snow as much or as often. I don't think you'll be able to hear it. One of my cats is across the room, and he's sleeping, and he's snoring. So if you hear little sort of whistling sounds, that's his snoring. So you can probably tell, if you've watched my other hair brushing videos, that my hair is about ready to be washed right now. You can see that the strands are sort of very shiny, and they tend to stick together a little bit more. And that's how I know my hair is ready to be washed. Looks like I tried to brush a little too much there once. I hadn't been having a problem with it, but it did pull a little bit there. I do really love this hairbrush. I almost think that it gives my hair a little bit more body when I use it. I think that maybe the type of bristles and the aeration through the back may help to sort of separate things. I also love the handle on this brush. I don't know why it fits better in my hand, but I think the fact that it's wider and then narrower kind of keeps it from slipping, which is nice. So I'm going to do something that I've had requested, and I'm actually going to flip my hair over and brush it that way. Unfortunately, I don't really want to adjust the camera all the way down, so I'll just be seeing over my face, but I'll try to go out a bit as well. Apologize for that, that was my phone alarm, but I think this video is going quite well, so I hope that you don't mind. Now I'm going to start at the bottom. And I can't really see right now very well, so I'm going to hope that you can see okay until I can get it, there we go, brushed out a little bit. And there's probably going to be a few small tangles just from flipping it around. I do find this to be kind of therapeutic in a way, because I don't usually flip my hair this way. There's a tangle. There we go. So it's a very different feeling. I don't know if people with shorter hair notice this, but when I flip my hair around, I can almost feel the hair sort of follicle is like reversed and it's a little bit tugged, which feels nice. It's kind of like also when I put my hair up in a different sort of style than I normally do, or I should say when I put my hair up at all, if I leave it up, it will feel sort of sore. When I take it down, I just amused myself there for a second. I looked at the camera and I realized I probably look a little bit creepy to some people who don't know what's going on. But anyway, there we go. Anyway, like if I pull my hair back off of my natural part, or the part that I use most often, it will feel a bit sore when I take it back down. Not painfully sore, but almost like the good kind of sore after a good workout, like the day after. So I know it's not my hair that's sore, but it's my scalp. But sometimes I like to say that it's my hair that's sore from having been put up all day, which is probably part of why I rarely put it up in any kind of style for anything other than photo shoots, because I like it down. And thankfully having it down seems to suit me in photos, because my hair is such an integral part of me and I don't mind putting it up sometimes, and especially for artistic nude photos or for a specific style of shoot, like pinup or something like that. But I do like it down because then I can play with it. And I can wrap it across my eyes, or I can sort of put my hands in it and create lines out to the sides. Just putting the hairbrush down for a moment. And the funny thing about that is, for a long time, I would put it up for shoots more often than not, because I had one photographer that told me that he didn't want to mess with it in Photoshop because my hair has a lot of little flyaways on the top here. You probably can't see them right now, but there's a little bit there that you can see that happens sometimes. But he didn't want to spend a lot of time editing those out in Photoshop, so he just told me to put it up so he wouldn't have to mess with it. And I suppose that made me feel a little bit, I won't say self-conscious because it didn't make me feel bad. It just made me realize that some photographers don't like the look of the little flyaways, and so then they have to edit them out. And that's extra time that they have to spend. And I don't like creating extra work for the people that I work with. So I ask what people prefer when I'm going to shoot with them. And but back to my original thought on that, when I started doing self-portraits, I spent some time sort of playing with it on my face and things. And I released a self-portrait with it all over my face. And shortly thereafter, I had multiple photographers ask me to do that thing with my hair while we were shooting, which is so much fun for me because I love playing with my hair. And it's something that sort of sets me apart from some other models because I like to make it expressive, and I have it, so why not use it? It's actually getting so long now that I almost can't extend my hand out. See, it's so long that it's longer than my hand, or longer than this part of my hand. I measured it a few days ago from the crown of my head down to the longest part in the center of my back, and it had been about 30 inches, give or take, for years now. I trim it because the ends get to the point where they just need to be trimmed because, and they need to be trimmed now, but they start to split from daily activity. This almost doesn't even look like it's attached to me. It's so long and so far away from my body. I should hold it like this. You can see that it's still attached. But anyway, I measured it and it was 32 inches long. And you can see there's one little part here. Let's see, that's longer than the others. I believe that's this part of my part here. Because of the way that I have it parted, I have it trimmed, parted the way that I normally wear it. because that makes sense to me, and it's my hair, so that's how I like to do it. I realize my voice sounds different when I talk quieter and when I'm smiling. Hopefully that's a good thing. Yes, for photo shoots now, if you've been following my Facebook page, you'll notice that I've been sharing photos from other shoots and doing a lot more of the hair play in my photo shoots, which is it's really quite nice. I like it. I like being able to do something different and to offer people something a bit different for their portfolio. It's very nice. It's very satisfying. Okay, so I'm gonna do a few more minutes of silent hair brushing and then a little bit more rambling, and then I think we'll be done. I'm actually quite quite pleased with how this camera captures my hairbrushing sounds. Hopefully this video is good as well. I'm thinking that since I'm closer to the camera, and I'm definitely getting very close to the camera with the brush, maybe only an inch away, that the sounds would be quite nice. And this is good because I am saving up for a better camera. I would say that once I have it, it's probably going to cost me around $800 for the camera. It does come with what they call a kit lens, which is decent. I've seen the video that's shot with it, and I think it will work okay for me for video. And then for photography, I can use the lens, I hope. I've checked and I should be able to, that I already have. So I'm quite excited about that. I got my CVD check for the last quarter of last year, and I think I'm going to be able to save about $200 of that for my camera, so I'm getting closer. I think at the end of this month I'll have about $100 from Patreon from the past 2 months, so that's $300. So that means I'm a little less than halfway there right now, or at the end of this month I will be. I'm hoping that I can keep promoting my Patreon and maybe boost my monthly pledges there. I've been posting quite regularly there. And I've been sharing these videos at least a day early there, sometimes 3 days early before I make them public. As well as any self-portraits that I shoot. And coming up I'll be sharing a video set that will be going live possibly sometime this month. I have one more with a photographer that's not me that I want to have go live before that one, but I think I'm going to release this one in February, whether it goes live on CVD in February or not. It's really cute, a bit different for me. Lots of pink and pastel colors, as well as black, of course. My cat is still snoring. And of course my print shop on Etsy has been doing okay. I've been selling fairly regularly on there. If you haven't seen it yet, I really encourage you to check it out. Part of the money I get from that I do reinvest into more prints, sometimes different prints. I want to print a bunch of new ones coming up, maybe some non-nude ones as well as the nudes. And I do have some non-nude ones already, for those who might not be interested in the nude aspect, but maybe you like one anyway. I actually have a couple of my hair centered ones on there, including the one I was telling you about. If I remember, I'll link that one in the description box. The name of the print is Tendrils. Anyway, I'm looking at my camera now and noticing that it apparently stopped recording and started over at some point. So, you're probably going to have seen a break or a fade. I hope it doesn't mess up my talking too much. I really should be more mindful of what that time range is, although I haven't noticed it very often. So I don't know when it happens. I'm sure I will know once I review this video. Anyway, I just wanted to do a little update and a little bit of a ramble because it's fun. I haven't really done that before, not like this anyway. Apparently I enjoy talking quietly while I play with my own hair. So if you enjoy this type of video, be sure to let me know because I'd be happy to do perhaps one of these a week or one every couple of weeks and sort of give you a little update on what's going on with me and my hair. But currently, I think me and my hair are going to go get clean. My hair needs to be washed, and I have a few other things I need to do as well. So unfortunately, as much as I'm enjoying this, I'm going to have to stop now. But please like and comment if you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you'd like to see more of these. And I hope that you'll check out my Facebook page, Patreon, perhaps my nativity sets if that's something that interests you. And I hope you subscribe as well. I recently reached 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. So thank you so much if you are already a subscriber, and thank you as well if you go subscribe after watching this video. I hope that you all have a lovely day, and stay warm, or cool, depending on where you live, I suppose. And I will talk to you again soon.